is that time again. It is Thursday, 4 o'clock, and we like to talk about OTC and penny stocks here. What is that you're wearing?
I wear my birthday get up, John. It's my birthday.
That's right. It is your birthday. Happy birthday, Lily.
Thank you.
We won't go into age. That's just a number. How do you
Young
feel?
and beautiful. I'm holding on to it. How y'all doing? It's so good to be back. Oh my gosh. Where have y'all been?
2 weeks has it been? You've been gone.
Yeah, where y'all been?
We've been here. Had a few mystery guests on. That kept it interesting. But we missed you. We know you. You're comfortable. You fit.
That's right. I fit.
Well, not your hat. Your hat is totally out of the screen. I don't know if we should call that a cat in the hat or a...
Look at that hat. Look at that.
Baby, you are smoking.
This is my party hat.
You look like a DJ.
Well, I have to hold my headphones on because the hat won't let me wear it. I'm going to take it off, though. But I just had to show everybody how Lily parties for her birthday. It don't matter what age.
You go ahead and show them how you party, baby. I'm going to throw up some news here.
Nice hat. See, they like my hat. How you doing? Y'all meet me in Southeast Georgia. We're going to party tonight.
Southeast Georgia. Yeah, it's not too cold down there.
Thing one and thing two.
We are cold here in Michigan.
Oh, yeah. You're way far away from me.
And where are you at?
Georgia.
Georgia. All right, here comes the news, folks. This is news I've looked at over the last 6 days, all from the OTC market. Oh, bloody hell. I can fix it. It's too small. All right, I'm going to
start.
Hey, if something don't go wrong, it isn't live. Let's see here. I got to make this wider. I just put a 1 in front of that, and we'll slow it down because it looks a little fast. Let's make this a 4. Look at, you're getting a Cliff Notes version of how to do coding here. Refresh this, and voila, it's bigger, and it will be slower. I didn't change the picture. You can live without a big picture. So like I said, this is news from the OTC market last 6 days. All juicy news. We're talking bankruptcies, uplistings, dividends, mergers, acquisitions, new technology. I'm talking the real good stuff. That's 6 days worth of news. You know how much work I just saved you? So dive into it. Maybe not now, but later when the recording comes out. So it was a bloody day today.
John.
I saw the big market. I don't actually trade the big market, not right now. I'm stifled down here in the OTC.
Well, if you had puts on SPY, you did fine.
Well, yeah, if you're shorting right now, if you're playing puts and options, you're making a killing. Good gracious. We've been on a downtrend for over 12 months.
Yeah, and like here recently, last 2 weeks, I wasn't here, John. Those, we were hitting some highs, and I was expecting. Matter of fact, it went higher than I thought it would. It really did test the very top and even broke out a little bit, but it could not hold it. And I didn't expect it to. But now we're headed back down. Not quite halfway yet. We still got a major way to go for that bottom of that trend line on the SPY. So, and I'm only bringing that up because it's significant to the rest of your market when it comes to NASDAQ trading.
That's our address there, folks. Pennyboys.is wizard. It's real easy to remember. Pennyboys.is wizard. Just come on over. That'll be an invitation from me personally. We would love to see you over in the Discord group, talking OTC, catching some alerts, maybe even learn a little more. Maybe learn how to play those options. So when a down market comes, you can be making money too. That's the one sad thing about only playing securities. And I don't short. So if you're not playing options, you never make money in a down market. That's what the puts are all about.
Yeah, it's hard to do. It can be done, but it's hard to do. It's really fighting the mentality of holding on too long. You just have to understand what you're trading.
Yeah, it's funny. I learned one of the very first things I read when I started trading was from Warren Buffett. And he said, be impatient with a fall, be patient with a rise. We wait longer when a stock is falling. We hold it and hold it, waiting for it to turn around way too long. But when a stock is rising, we're eager to get out. And it just doesn't make sense. Do you walk away from the slot machine when it's still throwing out money? No, I don't. I mean, I understand in our market, you got to take the green. You got to take what you can get right now. But some of these stocks are running hard and you don't want to shortchange yourself, which is why we don't sell all of it at one time. You sell some on the way up. Just because you have less doesn't mean you're not making more. People get the feeling I'm losing money if I sell some of it now. No, you're still making more.
No, I mean, you made that money. Just because it went up more doesn't mean you didn't make money. And so so really it's a battle with that, and the mentality and the psychology that goes into it. It's a huge battle. All that's because of ourselves. Nothing to do with the market. Nothing to do with it's all set up or scam or whatever. I mean, there's money to be made, and you have to have a plan that works for you and consistently.
Yes. And greed should never be a part of your plan. I mean,
That's right.
Trying to make as much as you can is one thing, but you've got to do it by limiting your risk as you're taking more. Don't keep everything on the table. It's never an all or nothing situation. Work with it. You know, it's like eating. You don't throw the whole plate of food down your throat at one time. You take a bite at a time, digest it.
You got to make sure you get paid. But anyway, I'm so glad to be back, you guys. Go ahead and get your tickers in there so me and John can go over them for you.
There's already some in there.
Yeah, we're going to get this show on the road.
I had a couple already come in from Twitter. Our mountain man.
Okay.
He wanted us to take a look, and he picked a couple of good ones, actually.
All right. What we got?
He wants us to look at EVTN Enviro Technologies. They're at 20 cents. Had a pretty decent day. They were up 17.5%. Hold on. They are doing a forward split. You like free shares?
What?
You're going to get some free shares here.
A forward
They have
split?
a deal here. Let me see if I've got right here. I think it comes into play. Yeah, it was originally announced on September 7th. EcoHark today announced the closing of their wholly owned subsidiary Banner Midstreams Corporation reverse merger into Enviro Technologies. Well, Enviro Technologies is right there. Part of the reverse merger is to get shares for the people in EvoVark, the EcoArk over here. As it tells you right here, in the coming weeks, Enviro plans to file a request with FINRA to effect a 4-to-1 forward stock split.
Yeah.
That will permit EcoArk to effect approximately a 1-to-1 stock dividend to the holders of EcoArk. So we've got this coming up. Here are your dates. You have to have these shares in your possession and recorded on record by December 30th. Any shares you buy here, whatever the price is, currently 20 cents, they will take one, they'll give you 4 shares for every 1 share you own. So you're going to get more of this company. Now, that is meaning this is going to be a nickel then. They're going to drop the price 4 times so that all your shares are still worth the same amount of money.
Oh, yeah.
Now, I'll tell you what I see happen a lot of times, and it's the same philosophy with reverse splits. They push the price up. Say it's a nickel and it goes up to 20 cents for a 1-to-4 reverse split. Man, you will see the price come right back down to virtually where it started from. Yeah. That happens so often because there's this mindset of that. Not to mention people are upset who lost all their shares. But the price comes pretty much down to where it was. Well, it kind of works the opposite. If you have a forward split, the price falls. People are used to seeing the price up there and will actually bid it back up to that price. It can be a nice free ride if you want to think of it that way.
Oh, it'll definitely get play, I'm sure, just like any of the rest of them. Just understand what's happening and that it probably will come back down. It's momentum. If the market falls in, it's momentum.
If you're going to buy these, the cutoff date is the 30th, but it takes time for the transaction to go through the system. 2 days, T+2. That means you got to have your shares by December 28th if you want them on record so that they can take a snapshot and see them. That's what you'll get your shares for. And they'll be distributed on January 16th. That's when you'll get your shares. And then the stock will be traded on the new share structure on the 17th. So if you're interested in that, and what was it this company did? Let's see here. Has 2 operating subsidiaries, Pinnacle Frac Transport and Capstone Equipment. They work with fracking and hydraulic fracturing and drilling operations. They procure and finance equipment in the oil field, transportation field, all that sort of thing. So if you like getting free shares in a company, and let's just see if the company's worth anything right now. Well, they got revenues coming in. Whoa.
That's good. It's always good
Whoa,
to see.
look at the revenue jump there.
Wow, that's huge.
Yeah. So
Wow.
some more DD here. It's not like they've just been hanging on. I was seeing small numbers there. They jumped from 39,000. We got 3 zeros to put here. And they jumped to $4.8 million. And they got to keep over $1 million of it. So this company is now at least making money. And the shares at this current time, it was a super low float of 3.2 million. They're going to be doing a forward split of 4, so just multiply that times 4. You're looking at around 13 million, which still is not a bad float at all. Not on the OTC market. So that's what's going on with EVTN. Let's take a look at the chart. All right, I do have some stuff over here I didn't want to forget. I don't know if we'll get to it. EVTN. All righty, that's our 30-minute chart. Let's back out to our 1-hour chart. Not a whole lot going on. Let's go back 4 hours. Well, something happened.
Show me the big picture.
This may be when they announced the spinoff or when it hit the market. I don't know, but it was a reverse merger, so you got to expect there to be a big jump one day. Obviously, this was the day. She jumped here from about 6.5 cents up to 51 cents.
Wow.
Whoa. Yeah, we're loving that. What's that? About 800% gains. And she stayed up in that region for quite a while. She has fallen down, and she's sitting on her 200-day SMA. She's actually underneath it, but she's doing the magnet. She's stuck to it underneath, and that's just as good. On top, underneath, that's all fine. But she doesn't look like she's doing a whole lot of moving right now. There's your 5-day. I mean, she found a ceiling cap there. She just doesn't want to get over about 20 cents. She's just sitting there. I've got to back up to get a little perspective here. So she's drooping. She's falling down, although our technicals show that she is in the midst of recovery right now. Our MACD is on the right side of the line, just coming up over the signal. And you see this pattern right here? Looks like a vase on its side, the blue line and the pink line. Yeah. You see my PPO, percentage price oscillator, and your ADX. When they are going apart like that, the stock price is rising, guaranteed 100%. And if you see them coming together, it works the opposite. Guaranteed the price is falling. That shows that there is some growth right now, and it is trying to get over that 50. And if it can get over that 50, these are the type of bars you'll probably start to see. Some good strength will come into it. So she's worth keeping an eye on. There's going to be some interest now. You know, people love forward splits. They hate reverse splits.
That's true.
That's just common sense.
That's true. That's a good one.
The other one that he wanted to look at is, I do believe it's Created. This one right here. Since we're over here at the chart, what's
that ticker, John? Sorry.
Huh?
What's the ticker for it?
CRTD.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll come over here so you can see it. You know, the charts sometimes make better sense if you know why they're moving. Okay, let's see. Did I have anything up here for Created? Nope. So I must have looked at it.
Oh, it's a QB stock.
Yeah, it is on the middle tier, which means they have all of their financials audited. They actually have a CPA look at them. Now, you'd think all financials do, but they don't. Pinks have the right to disclosures. That just means the management, the paper boy, can put down the numbers that they see from this piece of work and that piece of work and pass them off on to us. And a lawyer has to look at them and just verify the information, but not the numbers. So you really don't know what you're working with. So this is transparency. This is something you can trust. Share structure, they got a pretty decent float, 31 million. You've only got 35 million total shares. Let's see what sort of news we got going on here. Okay, this is, I do believe this was the company you wanted me to look at. Was it? Hold on here, folks. Let me take a peek here. GII, SME. You know, I think I got the wrong one. Sorry about that, Mountain Man. I didn't mean to do that on purpose. But Created, along with GTII. I just did research on them. Both of these companies have got their own business going. They've got their own things. different business models, but they've got the same problem right now. Both of them are seeking legal attention to take care of what they consider is an attack on their stock by illegal short, naked shorts. And I think it's a sin myself that short should be on the OTC market, especially with startup companies. I equivalent that to beating a puppy. I mean, of course, startup companies are going to have struggles, and to just force them down and make them unappealing to new buyers, it just isn't right. If you're going to short somebody, short an adult, beat up somebody your own size. And that's what's happening to these small startup companies that are making money, trying to get up. They're just being shorted to death, which means these investors borrow shares, get them for free, and then they sell them for the price right now, get all that money. They get that money and put it in their pocket. And then they probably don't sell them all because they've got a strategy too. And the point is to push the price down. So they sell and push the price. Every time they see it drop, they'll sell more and they'll push it down and push it down. And when it gets real low, they then buy back the shares they borrowed because they got to return them. But they buy them cheap and get to keep all that profit.
They keep the profit in the middle. That's right.
You know what I learned when I was studying up on shorting? These are called ill-gotten gains. There are no taxes on ill-gotten gains.
That's messed up too.
Isn't that messed up? I mean, that's just wrong all the way around. I don't care how you cut.
It is. They know it. This is their game. We just have to play by the rules. Nobody else does, but we do.
This company as well as GTII are both trying to get uplisted to the Upstream dual listing platform. Created had a very strong push on their NFT initiative this month. I know NFTs just haven't been as hot as they were, but when things cool off in the world and economics, NFTs, metaverse, I'm sure they're all going to come back into the picture. When we start getting money that we can frivolously start spending again, all those markets will start to move, like the OTC market. We're all suffering right now.
Exactly.
All right. Let me see.
We have some tickers on here if you're ready, but I just wanted to cover something real quick that I saw. Somebody had mentioned in our chat that CMND was taken off right now and after hours. Like it's just seemed like it was a blast off. I can't even find the comment right now, but I did see it. So while you were talking, I went ahead and looked it up. So here's the thing. Sometimes stocks or tickers, especially on the OTC, will look like it is taking off. On the chart, that's what it looks like. CMND.
CMND. Thank you very much.
Yep. So, and you'll see it on the chart. You'll see that big bar right there, right?
Yeah.
So I just wanted to cover this real quick for anybody that trades these types of stocks. Your liquidity is huge. Your volume, your liquidity. So what's happened right now, what you're seeing, it looks like, yes, it took off. Oh my gosh, what's happening? But the thing is, only so many people can trade before and after hours when it comes to OTC stocks. This may not even be an OTC. It's not. It's a NASDAQ. It is NASDAQ. So you can trade it. But what's happening right now is the bid and the ask. Your level 2 is what's happening here. So that's not an actual sell right there. That is somebody asking for that much, but nobody's willing to pay that much. So that bar will just sit there as long as that ask sits there. So our ask or our bid is 406 and our ask is $4.38 is the cheapest ask on it. So that's why you're seeing such a huge influx there. And I wanted to cover that real quick.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
That? This is better than live news.
Well, it helps you understand. You see that and you don't see any like volume with it, like what's going on, and it's kind of just hanging there. Then check your level 2. Look at your bids and your ask, and it'll tell you kind of what's going on. They may be asking for it, but it doesn't mean they'll get it, you know? Or maybe somebody bought just one share at that price. You see what I'm saying? So now you have a bar sitting there. But right now we only had 300 for the ask, 300 shares, and we have somebody trying to sell 200 at 425 now. And there's 440, 446. So just look at those levels. All right. So now we can get back to our tickers. Belmore.
Belle was here first, like she is every week.
How you
She's
doing?
right there, keeping the line warm.
That's right. She's first in line.
Yes, she is. And she actually asked for a warrant. and it's a good one. She picked a
What
good
we
one.
got?
I wasn't even aware of this, so she's ahead of her game. I mean,
Okay.
I am on top of putting up all the bankruptcies, delistings. I try to find this stuff as quick as I can. I search 3 times a day with this stuff looking for it, and she found one I hadn't found yet. Ooh,
Nice.
they're good.
What we
This
got?
is Core Scientific. Their ticker is CORZ. Just throw a W on the end and you got the warrant. This had a pretty good day, as you can see, finished at 179% gains. She's only at about 7 cents. That's the great thing about trading warrants. Warrants come along with major exchange stocks, and they are basically coupons, the promissory notes that give you the advantage to buy shares cheap in the future. Now, they're just stocks. You don't have to use them as warrants. You don't even have to think about them as warrants, but you can trade them like stocks, penny stocks. So you see a company that's going for $40 and had big news. God, you wish you could afford that stock. Well, you can afford the warrant, and the warrant will run with the stock. Actually, it'll run better with less volume. The spreads are bigger, so you get bigger jumps and bounces. This is where you get hundreds, thousands of percent gains in one day that will disappear, but you can get them. And this one's got a legitimate reason for running. I found it over here. This is a filing that just came out, and basically they are going bankrupt. They have just
no. Here we go.
Yes. So why is this good news? Well, obviously it's not good news, but for us, OTC market, penny stock traders, this is excellent news. Because of the economics right now, companies are suffering. That's why we see all the reverse splits. They need money bad. These companies, they're normally, well, they've got financial debt, but they don't disappear. Now, I don't know enough about this company to say if it will survive this. It doesn't sound like a name brand I know, like Revlon or Latham or Hertz. You know, I've never heard of them. So they could disappear. But I haven't looked at their financials to see what they're worth. Well, when these guys announce bankruptcy, announce it. Of course, the stock's going to drop. Wrong. It goes up. No, I can't explain it. When you go bankrupt on a major exchange, you lose your position on the major exchange. So the next thing is they delist you. You come down to the OTC market. Just before you get thrown off the OTC market, they put a boot in your butt and they launch you again. You get another surge before you leave. Then when you land on the OTC market, take a day or two, dust off. There it goes again, a welcome party. Welcome to the OTC market.
I can only assume it's just the news of it. It has this news and it's widespread that we're hitting bankruptcy. And then you start seeing a lot of volume come in just to play the stock, and they know exactly what they're playing. They just want to run it up. You know, it gets pumped up and it's take gains.
That came out today. There was no delay. The information came out today, and
they were all over it then.
178%. So you don't have to understand how a car works to drive it. We don't have to know why this is working. Just get in the seat and start driving these things. The market is filled with delistings and bankruptcies right now. And we're not talking about a long hold. We're talking day trading here.
Yeah.
As soon as you see the news, put these on your watch list. You know, you should be doing searches every single day for bankruptcy company. Just that simple. Maybe you want to throw in NASDAQ. Maybe you want to throw in OTC along with that. Just poke at the Google search and see what you can find. That's what I do. And I find stuff that's pretty obscure, but comes up for me. Let's go take a look at that chart. I did not catch this today. I did not know she was.
I looked at it real quick, like the actual chart for the equity CORZ is only sitting at 9 cents now.
Do you want to share your chart and do it?
Yeah, I can share it real quick. I was trying to do some research on that warrant, but I'll
go back to it. Throw yours up.
Sure. So hold on, you're gonna. Oh, I think no, I didn't. There we go. So there's the chart for CORZ. Of course, you know, you hit a low bubble here. And then granted, you had these gains this morning. It sold off a little bit now.
What was it?
What was that? Oh, the high was right at 19 cents.
And she started at what?
5 cents. It's 5 cents.
Oh, so we had almost 400% gains on the stock.
Yep. And then, of course, immediate sell off when it hits the 19 cents. Now, I'm just looking at the 1 minute, you guys. But if you go and look at the warrant, which was what Val was asking about. Valmore was asking about. Same thing. It went up to 14 cents from 2. And right here we have some.
700%.
Yeah, and it's
Whoa.
sold back off, but it's the ask right now is around 7 cents, and the stock itself is only sitting at 9 cents. So that's all it was. They were just doing the play. You know, they're playing the stock, they're playing the warrant. What I'm trying to figure out while John's talking, and I will look at it, is this a whole warrant? Is it a half warrant? Those things kind of matter. I suspect it's a whole warrant, but I don't know.
I've never seen half warrants listed. I mean,
Really?
when you buy a unit, it'll say one share and a half a warrant. But when you go to trade them, they're full warrants. I've never seen it.
You know what?
You are.
I apologize. You were so right, John. I am thinking about the units when they split down, but once it's done, you buy whatever it is now. So I apologize. Right. You were right. And that's the thing. Sometimes it's listed like in the paperwork. It will say you'll need 2 warrants to make a whole share. So that's what I was kind of referring to. I was wanting to see if there was any kind of stipulations on that. And then, what your strike prices are going to be. But if this is just a bankruptcy kind of play day trading thing, doesn't really matter. And it doesn't. I want to go back and look because I don't know anything about this company either. Just want to look at the 4 hour. So your last 6 months, my goodness. This is the main ticker, CORZ. So look how it's fell from $8.70. And then it just flatlined. Whatever happened here, bam. And that was October 27th. And then just kind of flatlined until we probably got some action right here today, which is the bankruptcy news is what's been, being discussed. That's what's happening here.
Now, me, I don't ever play. I know that's a cheap stock, but I don't play the securities. I play the warrants on these bad news stocks. Now, I'm not saying the stock won't move. I just play the warrants, and I do it because less volume moves them. I don't have to have millions of shares being sold, and the spreads are normally a lot bigger between the ask and the bid. So when it moves, it bounces. It doesn't just go a penny. It jumps 4 cents or something, right?
That's true. That's true. But you have to have the liquidity, even when it has those big spreads. If you only have somebody that's, selling 200, but you're trying to buy 2,000 of them, hard to do. So you just have to kind of look at the level 2s and see what your liquidity is. Is it worth playing? And don't go in too much, because you could get stuck.
Yesterday, we talked about a warrant. Yesterday was the first day they split the unit. It was the first day the shares were sold by themselves and the unit or the warrants were sold, but it was a SPAC. So the shares don't move until they close the deal. Not really, a couple pennies. Yeah, but the warrant took off yesterday. Yes. Took off like wildfire, but it was just on the floor. I mean, it was right near the 1, so it hardly had anywhere to move. It was a 900% jump from its low yesterday. So these are the sort of things that are hard to explain, but if you see them, you don't have to understand it to cash in on it. Just jump in there.
We're looking, we're looking at EJH now. As you can see, this is a 4 hour, 180 day. I've looked at this before, obviously.
Oh, good.
Lines. Look at the lines on it. Anyway, that's old stuff, but let me get a little bit closer. Last 20 days. Wow. Look at that move.
Oh,
from 36 cents to $1.40.
Wow.
Insane. Yeah. I don't know. Let me go
over
back.
300% gains in 3 days.
Yeah. So these lines, you can tell these lines don't make any sense. That tells me something happened to this stock, a reverse split. Something happened that changed this chart and the way it looks. Because I was charting here, but I'm only sharing the chart right now. I'm not sharing my whole screen.
That's okay. I'm looking up the news right now.
Perfect.
See what we got going on.
John. Thank you. So let's get a little bit closer though. Let's look at the last 5 days and what's happened with EJH. I am a little familiar with it. I know it's like retail, home goods, household stuff. It may be like an e-commerce platform. I think it is. But
the news here recently is that they are launching a cloud pharmacy service to address this epidemic prevention. And today they had news. eHome Household Service Holdings Limited with dedicated investors to set up Haxia Home Management College in Pinkton Comprehensive Experimental Zone. I don't even know what I just read. So they've got news that there was a catalyst today, and obviously it is good stuff.
Yes.
We'd have to dive into it to figure it out, but the chart looks nice.
I mean, that's what I'm doing right now. Just looking at the chart, just trying to find a good spot because this is recent movement, so it's a little bit harder. But I'm gonna go ahead and just get a channel on this real quick. And there you go. Let me extend that so we can see it all the way. Let's get a little bit closer. I'll do the 1 day, 1 minute.
Note the one, you cannot buy caveat emptor from anybody as far as I know. Those stocks are off limits because they consider them dangerous to us in some way, shape, or form.
They stopped that, I think, September 2020. We had fun with them while we could.
And they're coming up with new rules.
Oh, boy.
SEC got a whole bunch of new rules for the OTC they're coming up with about shell companies.
Oh, no. I love playing shells. No.
The game's going to change, and we got to change with it. Look for those opportunities. I will. Exactly. I'll share them with you. So go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's okay. Back to EJH. If you're looking at the trend lines, just basic that I drew, you can see where it broke out, but it could not hold. So we're back in it's the upper part of the channel. So what the price is $1.35 or so right now. This is going more than likely. This is going to pull back. I can't remember if they said $1.19. They was thinking about entry possibly. If that was the comment, John.
The entry for the EJH,
yeah.
He says it was so hard to hold EJH yesterday in at 44 cents at 9:30 in the morning and exit at 72 cents 2 p.m. I might find an entry tomorrow if things are right.
Okay. Well, very good with playing that yesterday, absolutely, and taking those gains. I mean, I think it hit around 82 or so cents yesterday.
Kind of came back greedy. Yeah, that's good.
And then you did perfect. But you see right here, like what it did. It's consolidating right at the bottom, and then it decided to go again today. Now, usually these things happen in the rule of 3. But it depends on what the news is, what's going on. So give it some room to breathe tomorrow. That's what I would do. I would like to see it if, entry wise, if I was watching it, I'd want it to hold $1.02 or so, $1.05, $1.02 in this area. It'd be nice to keep this uptrend. And it may, if it breaks out above the 120 area and holds above that, then we're going for new highs more than likely on this particular ticker. But it could calm down and come back down to retest. More than likely, you'll see that in the opening hours. You'll see it take a dip there. You'll see some people taking profits, getting out. Just like with the rest of the market, that's usually what happens. But if it's really good news, it may continue to climb. But I don't like that until it's over like $1.22 and holding $1.20, $1.22, holding that area and it's still climbing. Then we're looking for an entry at that level. If not, then you could probably see it come back down to I'd say 95, 99 cent area. The lowest would probably around 92. And if it's not going to hold those areas, you do not want to touch it. You want to wait and give it some breathing room, and it'll probably come back and retest the bottom of this channel, which is going to be in your 70 and 80 cents ranges. So that's just what I would look at.
These guys are backing up. We got a lot of them to cover.
I'm so sorry. Go to the next one. What's the next one? I'll do it. Yeah, I just can't see the comments.
Over these, or we're going to end up having half of these we don't even get covered.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Just go, and I'll put up another one.
Wow, look at them come in. Wow, folks. Okay. Looking real quick, I was asked here about GTII. I was looking at this one today. You want to know where the price looks like it's going to go? We got a low here. This is what this bottom line is. Oh, you can't see.
It's GTII right here. Do you want me to stop sharing or are you good?
Yeah, I'm going to bring this up.
Oh, okay. You do it.
Let me get in here. Sorry about that. I thought
GTII is one I played a good bit. So that's why you saw my chart look like that.
There we go. All right. Just looking at where GTI is going to. You can see she's bouncing off of her low. Right here, we drew a support line here, and she's been scraping it for quite a while, and she is now starting to break out. And you can see the price, the size of the price bars here, they're just basically lines. The closer she gets to that 50 and on top, the bigger your price bars are going to get. The faster she's going to start moving. The volume will start coming in. Technicals are looking good on the 4 hour. Let's come on down to like 30 minutes. Your 30 minutes shows she is trying to break out. She is building up momentum. Now, she is broke through on a first tag. I don't like to think of the first time you get through the 200 as being the one you can count on. I'm not saying it isn't, but you really got to pay attention to your technicals. This could easily come down and break the 200 again and roll up. But, I mean, you don't know. But GTII is under short attack. It's been under short attack for a very long time. The CEO is now taking legal action, hired people, lawyers, big lawyers, to get to the bottom of these naked shorts, which are illegal. They are illegal. These are people who are, well, it's just, trust me, it's hurting the stock. He's trying to fix it. At the same time, he's trying to put shareholder value out there so that people see the stock is more valuable than the price reflects, so that we push it up. He's been trying to give dividends digitally, physically. He's trying different things right now. So the company is under attack right now. And that's why the price is down. And I don't know, it's gotten pretty low. I don't know if the shorters got scared or not. I'm not a shorter. All I know is she's starting to rise right now, and the fight isn't over. So it's not like she's just going to freely start rising. So you've got to anticipate there to be some.
Oh, no, they're going to fight it. And that's the other thing. Your bears, your shorters are sitting around the $1 to $1. Hold on, this one right here. They're definitely at that $1.10, $1.12 area. If it gets anywhere close to that, they're pouncing right now. So we need to see it break out. And it is on the way, John. You're absolutely right. It's on the way of a breakout. I would keep an eye on this one.
There you go. 2 out of 2. Can't be bad.
Yeah, give me another one.
All right. How about we look at DBMM? DBMM. By golly,
never heard of it.
Just covered it the other day. Let's see if my mind can be refreshed. What's going on? No news, so it's going to be a filing I was looking at. 216. See what we got going on here. Final order dismissal, Carol Fox. No, that wasn't it. We just covered this the other day. Isn't that a shame when you do all this hard work and you can't remember what the hell you learned?
Well, we read so much, though. It's hard. I get stuff mixed up all the time.
You know, I honestly go back to my own videos to catch up on stuff. People ask me questions like, well, let me see what I said about it. Oh, very good, John. Very good.
Very good, John.
Nothing wrong with patting yourself on the back. Nothing wrong with that at all. DBBM, she's down today. God bless America. What was this one about? You know what? I'm going to tweak here, and I'm going to jump over here to Twitter. We're going to throw that in there just to stimulate my brain. It seems to me, God, it's some small catalyst. What I've been calling, no, it's a search. What I call a dime a dozen catalysts. Catalysts that happen every single day that make stocks run.
So like
publicized. What do you mean? What was that ticker we're looking up?
DB. Yep, DBMM.
Yep. I bet you I even got something up here. Watch this. Zidar. We'll bring up my post. Yeah, okay. Mentioned in the vid yesterday. That's all I said. Bloody hell. John, you're not doing your job well here. Okay, let's see. Somebody's looking for Kramer. I doubt that. DBGI.
I'm no help on this one. Just broke out. Bullpen it.
Trap shorts. By golly. Man, I'm sorry I can't find this information in a heartbeat like I should have this on the top of my tongue. I can see the picture I made for it and everything. And this was about a lawsuit that was ending. I don't think they had anything else in here.
It looks like whatever it was, it ran off that news, and that happened.
There we go.
Yesterday.
That's right. I remember now. We could jump into it. They lost their caveat emptor the other day.
Okay.
And this is what I was saying in the video. I saw it running all bloody day, had no clue why it was running, couldn't find anything. 3 times I dug into it, could not find it. come over here. These are lists you should check every single day. Caveat emptor and tier changes. These make stocks run. These are what I call dime a dozen catalysts. They're not publicized, but they're happening every day. And there's a list put up every day before the bell. You can see which stocks you should be watching. I mean, how easy is that? So here's the caveat emptor, DBM right there. The 20th, it came off. It lost its skull and crossbones.
And then it ran on the 21st.
So once that came back onto the market, she took off. Let's take a look at that. DBMM.
Yeah, it had a massive run yesterday. Massive.
Yeah, she started down here at basically a penny. Best price. As soon as it hits 2 cents, you got 100%. Go to a nickel, you got 500%. How high did it get? Got up to 3 cents. So there was 300% right there in that jump in the first part of the morning. Now, a lot of people may have sold right there, and there's nothing wrong with that. You might have seen, ooh, you know, it starts running right here. It just started consolidating for many minutes. That's a half hour on each one of these. So you had a couple hours, then you start seeing a run. Well, you could have got back in right there, and she hit a high yesterday of just over 3 cents.
Yeah.
So she came back to that 300% gains and then took more today, put another penny on top of that. So it was about 25%.
And you can see there was heavy selling there. You can tell.
Oh, boy.
So anybody that was in this one from before, either they got in early or you had people that's been here and it's been kind of just flat for a while. They just took whatever they could take to get out of it. So it was heavy selling there.
This is where it started before the caveat emptor. That's where it was sitting. I'm not even sure what that last day was. Well, this must have been behind the market. You know, just because you and I can't buy it and sell it doesn't mean it can't be bought and sold.
Oh, yeah. It was
there are people behind the scenes that have authority, and that's when you see these minor trades going on behind the scenes. And for some reason, they normally push the price down. I think it's a profit margin thing. When it comes back up, you got to remember, OTC stocks are run by the brokers, not the NASDAQ is centralized. The OTC is decentralized.
Yep.
Oh, that sounds so good until you realize you got 100 bosses out there. Everybody's making their own rules, making their own spreads, deciding what they're going to do. And it's not bids. We don't get our prices based on high bid. We get it by negotiating. I want to spend 30 cents. The broker's looking for someone who wants to buy at 30 cents. It doesn't just go on the board pushing it up. It is different down here. So you can see she has come real close to that low. She's underneath the 50. She could easily come back down. I don't know if she's got anything going on company-wise. I can't remember what she does. But that was her run. She needs a new catalyst if you want to see that sort of thing.
I would wait. I'd have patience on this one just to see if there's going to be something left, but it could just keep dropping. So keep an eye on that one. We have somebody else asking about the HNRC stuff, John.
Oh, you're good. I was just going to say the same thing. HNRC is on everybody's mind right now, so let's talk about it. HNRC just did a spin out. They gave a dividend of $1.75 for every share you bought of their stock, which was running between 40 and 80 cents on the days that everybody was interested in this. The spin out is of WDHI. The dividend is required to go out first before the WDHI stock will go on the market. So don't freak out if you don't see it up there after you get your shares. It's part of the prerequisite. You got to wait for it to happen, but it won't be long. It won't be long. The price has taken a huge drop, as you would expect. The record date was the 16th. That means everybody who had shares in the system and recorded got their information put in the system. It's done. You don't have to hold them until the 30th before you get your shares. No, it's all done. You qualified. You got the job. Go home. Come back in 2 weeks. So as soon as that Monday came, it dropped. Now, what day is this? That's the 15th. And see, that was the crazy thing. Now, folks, I'm going to tell you something here, and don't. This is like the MacGyver show. Too much information can be dangerous.
Don't shoot the messenger.
Right now, there's a lot of people. You hear me tell you that you have to buy your shares in a dividend stock 2 days before the record date so that there's time to get the transaction in. It takes that much time to get through the system. Well, there are people who figure, why doesn't it work in reverse then? This went off on the 16th. People were selling on the 15th. Look at the price fall. And you're saying everybody just lost their shares right there. Their dividend is gone. Well, their logic is if it takes 2 days for the transaction to get through the system, by the 16th, that's only 1 day. Yeah. It's not in the system yet. So when they take a picture, even though I sold yesterday, that won't appear until here. So I'm going to get my free shares, and I got to sell at a much better price than here on Monday when everybody, you can see she's flat now.
I mean, it's a theory. I don't know if it's true, but that's a theory.
I told him, I said, you know what? It sounds like a great scheme. If it works, I'm going to be, practicing this, because who doesn't want to sell at a higher price than a lower price? Of course. Yeah. But truth of the matter is the company has value. They have 2 other assets. They just spun off their non-energy assets. They've got a bunch of property. They've got like 33 million barrels of oil underground in Texas. Their assets are at 60 million. They have plans to spin out 6 more SPACs, which means you're going to get dividends every one of those SPACs if you hang around. They wanted to do 3 this year, but things got a little weird. So they got 2 done this year. They want to give annual dividends. They want to give quarterly dividends. Look, folks, what I'm saying is the company's trying to share their profits with us. How many OTC companies do you know doing that?
I don't know any.
So I like that in the company. Yes, it's down right now. And this is what WDHI is going to look like. What you see here, this is probably what it's going to look like. It'll come on at $5 and fall down to $3 or something, because all your divvy players want their money. And they can even sell at a loss because it's such a huge divvy, and they'll take whatever money they can get. Don't be a lemming. Don't run in there unless you need that money to pay a bill. Let patients pay you. I believe HNRC is going to come back up. I believe WDHI, which is the lion's share of the company, it was $53 million worth of assets. HNRC was left with $38 million on those 2, not counting the oil. So the company's got something going on, and WDHI wants to roll out SPACs as well. They've said that is going to be part of their business. So I like both of them, but don't be in a rush to sell. Just be patient. Wait till after the holidays. See what goes on. Give each stock at least 2 weeks to a month. I believe these stocks are going to come back up because they're not hollow shell companies. They've got something going on, and they respect us. And I think sooner or later, the investors will see that.
Let's hope so. We got Lady V, who's asking about CENN. So, hello, what happened to CENN? You were very sure for a positive last night. Maybe it's one of the videos you did last night.
Oh, I know what she's talking about. Absolutely. And you know what?
Figured.
That thought crossed my mind today because CENN dropped. Now, when I say I have faith in a stock, and I don't believe I said this, I'm never saying I know this stock is going to run tomorrow. I'm always saying keep your eye on this stock. Nobody knows what's going to happen with any stock tomorrow. But you know that there are circumstances around it. You know there are fundamentals. You know there are certain catalysts, certain events. So we have projections. And that's what all the market works on is projections. We're looking towards the future. And I'm looking at not a long hold. I'm not talking about a long hold. I'm talking about a short swing, giving it some time. Yes, she had a good run yesterday. Nice run. In this market, you've got to expect profiteers to come in and take that money. Let's back up a little bit on this, see what we got going. See, she's been in a downtrend for a very long time. Now, there weren't a lot of people down here, but these people down here, they're not happy. They got in and they were thinking it was going to go up, and it didn't. Half of these people want out, so they're going to take these little bit of gains and go somewhere else. Yeah. Just happy to get their money right now. People are taking anything they can get when they can get it if they're smart. But it's hurting us because stocks that even have good value are not retaining their prices. They're going up, and they should probably hold at least 50% and go up again, but they're not. They're coming down way too hard. So, yeah, I do have faith in CEN. What was it? I'm trying to remember. Another one of those stocks. Just covered this. Hopefully something jumps out at me. Is this the SPAC? La 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 la. No, I don't see a warrant down there. Let's see. Central Electric Group. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I remember. I like it when my brain actually works. They had news come out yesterday about shipping a whole bunch of their trucks. They've got these electric vehicle trucks that they are working in all of Europe, including other countries that use EU standards. And they just sent a bunch of their trucks over there. Now, when I was looking at their website, they've also got these autonomous driving trucks. You know, they drive themselves. That hooks up to your phone, and you can control the speed. You can tell it where to go. You can send it to pick up grandma. You know, it's really neat. So that's what the company does, and that's what the news was yesterday that had this thing running. And it was just a catalyst. And catalysts are short-lived. Yep. They really are. Unless it's a cancer drug that's curing breast cancer, that one will run for a week. Yeah. But these, pop goes the weasel, and hopefully you were there to get it.
Hopefully. Yeah, that was a good one from yesterday. Absolutely. I had a nice run. But you also, just speaking about that, let me hear, John, since we're talking about, I'm trying to make this quick, y'all. I know we're running out of time, but let me do this for you real quick. Talking about CNN. So let's look at it from yesterday.
Hey, you learned how to jump me. I like that. You didn't wait for me to click on. Good for you.
Well, that's the thing. Look at it. Look at it, though. You see that? Let's just draw a little quick trend, uptrend. What's happening? You see it right here at the top. It hit the very top.
Yes.
It hit the top of the downtrend. You see what I got you in there? You see that? It hit the top of it right there. Now let me get closer. And this is what y'all need to do as well when you're trading. You
see Lily is doing. Try drawing lines around the shape you see on your board.
Draw this trend because it's on an uptrend. Very intraday.
Tops.
Yeah. So it's intraday, but draw it. You see what it's doing. It's holding. Just as soon as it breaks out under that and can't regain it, now we're going back to the normal trend. So it's out of this motion, this momentum it was doing.
What I really like,
it's over at that point.
It gives you control. You feel like you're more in control of your play when you know what cage you're working in. That's a big ass chart, isn't it?
It is. And that's the other thing. You don't have to wait all day to get that. You can do that right here. When you have a few candles that's hitting in a certain area, draw the trend and then extend it. And if you'll notice, it keeps in that area. And then you have your SMAs and stuff like that too. So just, kind of help yourself out with that. I guess that's kind of the point I was trying to make, is to help yourself out when you're day trading or something like that. Notice what's happening in the intraday trends as well. All right. Well, I know we got another one, John. We talked about CMND, MGUY.
Oh, M guy. Yeah, we covered that.
There it is, Joel. Go. M guy. I haven't heard of M guy.
M guy. I have, but I'm blank right now. Got to refresh my memory.
It's Pink Limited right now. Is it a show as well?
Pink Limited. Let's take a look at that. Did she get it in? She's missing her last quarterly report for September, and soon she's going to have December's as well. I see she's a shell company here. She did have a 15% gain, and she's just under a dime. Let's see what we got over here for news. Mogul International completes acquisition with companies in the transportation sector. That's right. They bought 5 companies, I believe it is. Could be 4. These companies right here, they bought all of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. These are refrigerated truck companies. Now remember, this is a shell company. They've got no business. They've got no revenues. That shell is going to fall off because of this news. That news is covering 3 main offices, California, Tennessee, and Florida. They have over 200 trucks. I'm sure that there it is, 230 trucks, 320 semi-trailers. They have the largest cold storage facility in the country, which is 200,000 square feet. So they're going to be making money. They haven't talked anything about money here, but come on. They've just got a whole bunch of assets. They're going to be in the money because all these businesses are running right now. So this is why it ran, and this is why it should run. Now, from what I understand, and I don't understand all the intricacies of this. Whenever you have problems with your financials, whenever you have problems with the SEC or the NASDAQ or anything like that, your deals aren't going to be completed. Everything gets put on hold until you get things right. So I don't know that's a fact for this one. They've got to get those financial filings in, maybe to have this deal finalized. But when everything is right, this company looks like it's ready to grow. It's going to have value, and that shell is going to disappear. And they do like to talk on Twitter when shells disappear. They tell you this has changed. And all of a sudden, everybody's over here for a dime a dozen catalysts. Yep. Nobody's reading about this. You just know it because you follow your stocks.
Also, we're going to cover, we have a few more minutes, you guys, not much time, but I do see where Jerome said EJH, which we covered earlier. Looks like it's pending, maybe a reverse split. I don't know if that means pending or it's already been through one. With the price, I would say it's pending. So just be aware of that, or do some research and see. Don't go off just what we said. We're only looking at charts. And now I have Jimmy that's asking, hey guys, any news on DBGI? I'm going to go ahead and present real quick, John.
I haven't finished with the chart for MGuy.
Oh, I am so sorry. I thought you were finished. I didn't want to run out of time.
We're trying to serve everybody. We just spilt water on the table. Accidents happen.
I go back.
So we're looking at a 1 hour chart for MGuy. She had a bounce back here in the beginning of December. Took her a few days to get another launch here. God, she jumped here from 4 cents up to 12.5 cents. You're looking at over 300% gains, and she's keeping these gains, folks. Now, she lost all the first one, came right back down, but now she's sitting on top of her 50. That's a nice settlement. I'm glad to see that. Technicals, we got to push up off of our PPO and a crossover imminent on our MACD, and the RSI is pushing up. They are looking good on the 1 hour. On the 5 minute, well, she did have a pretty decent day. She's struggling with this 200 here. Bounced on it, testing it now. Technicals show that she could be coming down for another roll through that. What you know is what you know. They've got assets. They're making the deal. We need to know when it's finalized. We are looking for the financials to come in for a guy for that deal they made. They'll tell us everything it's worth, and that will make a huge impact, and I'm sure the stock will move then. All right, what you got for me, Lily?
Yeah, we have Jimmy asking about DBGI, just asking about any news. I'm not familiar with any news, but I will present the chart because we have discussed it. It was a while back, but we have discussed it before. It's one I was actually playing before, and I can't remember, so let's just back up a little bit. Oh, that's too far. That's a year chart.
Search out the news while you
appreciate it. Wow, even the 180 day. All right, so I'm just going to get closer. This is your 4 hour. The last time we spoke about it was probably around this time, which was beginning of November, you guys. And I can't even remember what happened. I can't remember if it was a reverse split. Something happened with it.
When was that?
November 4th, it looks like. Somewhere around that time, beginning of November.
I'll see what.
So what I did was do a regression channel, or not regression channel, sorry, a fib retracement. You know, I pretty much took it from its high, that most recent high, and took it down to the low. This gives you a good idea of what, you know, DBGI is going to do when it gets in those channels. And now it's back down to the bottom, as you can see, and it's trying to break out. So let's get a little bit closer.
Was their reverse stock split, 1 in 100.
Good. Okay, that's what I thought it was. And of course, you know, it sold off. So, but I think some other stuff came out about it. I don't know. It was a little messy. I do think there was, like, during the days after, I think there was plenty of chances to have trades on that one. But here we go. Since everything's calmed down, let's get to the 5 day, 5 minute. Remember, this is the line for the bottom of my fib, the 23.6%. You see where this is hitting. The 486, 480 is what it got to, and it cooled off and came back down. So here's the thing. This one, if it can get over the 486, which is right here, and I'm going to back it back out so you can see it better, the 20 day. If it can get over that and hold, now we're playing in a different area. We're playing in a different fib, which is over the 23.6% line. So I don't like it like it's, I'm sorry, I have this upside down. I'm not going to say that then. I'm not going to confuse anybody. No, I don't want to confuse. Anyway, if we can get over the 486 and hold that area and start treating it like support, especially this right here. At the top of this is around 525. If it gets above that, it'll have problems with 525. You can see the resistance right here at the top of these candles. So 520, 515, somewhere in that area. So it may play in that area. It may consolidate there. And then we might see it do another leg up. So until it does that, I would not be interested in it at this price of 462. It either needs to calm down.
Today, they got their $2.5 million to close the acquisition of their Sundry deal.
Finally, we've been expecting that for a while.
Well, there you go. And it's not done. It's just now they've got the money for it.
Yep.
That's all it took.
And so, yeah, it moved it. But like I said, at this area, you have more downside here than you have upside. So I would wait for that breakout and holding if we're going to do something. If not, wait for it to cool off. That's what I would do. I wait for it to cool off and then find where it can consolidate and see if there's another leg in it or not. Because there may not be. They may sell all the news tomorrow. You never know. So keep an eye on it.
All right. There is one that's been asked. Actually, it was asked of me offline too. And I see it's being asked here, SMME. We've talked about this one. This is that biometric credit card that has the fingerprint on it. Lot of interest. And basically, I said the same thing to them that I'm going to say now. The company's got a hot product. Nobody else has it.
Well, that's good.
There's $4 billion a year that is being done with fraudulent credit card purchases. So the companies are interested in the card that can save that for them. They are trying to get this credit card into the hands of the major credit card suppliers. And they haven't done it yet, but that's what we're waiting for. Now they're experimenting with other credit card suppliers, smaller ones. So we're hoping, expecting, and I honestly think that if there's no competitors and this is working beautifully, like they say, it will become common. Just like pin and chip. This is going to come on it. And once Visa grabs it, every credit card company will grab it. So I think SMME has a future. As long as there's no competitors, that'll beat her to first mover advantage. Let's take a look at that chart.
It had a pretty good move.
Did it? Well, you bring it up then.
Oh, gosh. Hold on. Let me pull my thing back up. Sorry.
Yeah, it's better if you pull your thing back up.
Yeah, I'll do that. Hold on. I was just looking at it real quick. So just over the last 5 days, it's had a really pretty big move. This is just your 5-minute chart. Double one. It's moved all the way up to double 35. So that's, pretty significant. Still, it's in a great range, though. But we're in the halfway, like the uptrend that we're in is at the halfway mark right now. And we are holding right at the 50. And we see that the 13 SMA has, when I'm doing momentum trading, I use the 13. So the 13 is right up under it, right here in the 50. So I want to see that start going back above the 50 if we're going to continue. If not, then we could just kind of cool off and come back down in this area, which would be more of a better buy-in area. Your 100 sitting at 0.0024. And then, your 200 is 0.0018. And that would fall out of the trend. Doesn't mean it can't happen, but it needs to hold that for sure if this is going to continue. But yeah, I like it better in this area if you're looking for a spot to get in. So I would be me personally, I would be patient. That was great news. Unless they keep getting news after news, it's probably going to cool off a little bit. You could find a good entry if you're not already in it and you're interested in it, because everything that John just said sounds really good about this company. But, we'll back up a little bit further, just real quick. The 184 hour, nothing. Like it's just been trading sideways, totally flat. Yeah. And then now we're starting to see the movement. So give it a minute, give it some time to see what's going to happen here. And then because if you weren't in it back here or saw all this coming in with this volume, then you don't want to buy up here and hoping it's going to come back. So just, watch it, keep an eye on it, see if it cools off just a little bit. I would expect it to hold between 0.0021 and 0.0022.
Now, I know we're late right now, but I do want to drop one stock into your lap, folks, before
That's
we
fine.
take off here. This is a bankruptcy that is coming out of bankruptcy. These are the ones you want to watch.
I think I know what you're talking about.
They are $1 million brands.
Talking about Revlon?
You know the name just like
talking
that.
About Revlon?
That's right,
talking
baby.
About Revlon.
All right, come on up for me.
Very nice. I'm glad they got the restructuring done. That's good.
Yes, just a day or 2 days ago, they got an agreement to restructure. So they're coming out. The light can be seen at the end of the tunnel. Revlon is making money. They did over $2 billion last year. That's why nobody's going to let them go. The brand is worth millions, if not billions.
The name,
Everybody knows Revlon. They're making money. Why do you want to kill a horse that's running fast? You're not. So it's coming out, and it is right now at a price that is worthy of considering. I think a year ago it was at, or was it 3 years ago? 3 years ago it was at $11. Let me see here.
Yeah, I mean, it's
VRQ, and I do believe I had Rev right there. All right, this is Rev before she went bankrupt. That is a yearly chart. You got a high here of $13 1 year ago for Revlon. And then she went bankrupt somewhere back here. And she got a new ticker. Now, just before she left, the old ticker, she was at $4.26. When she came in over here, she was down at, no, that's not, is it?
What is the new ticker, John? Rev Q?
REVRQ.
Okay, sorry.
Yeah,
REVRQ.
They made that one tricky. She came on the market at $2.27. So just $2, dropped just
my goodness,
leaving one ticker to the next. And she's been falling all of this time because of her bankruptcy. She hit a low of 32 cents. And then, what day is that? The 19th. The 19th, she had a nice pop here. Matter of fact, let's just come in on that 10-day. Right there you go. This is when the news came out that she was coming out of bankruptcy. She jumped here from 34 cents to $1.37. So you had about 350% gains. And of course, she came crashing down. But she's coming out. We're not just looking for bounces anymore. Bounces are going to happen. But now we're looking for growth. Now we're looking for her to return to her place of originality. She's on the OTC. She has the right to be up on the NASDAQ with the sorts of money that she's making. And that's going to push her. And the minimum price is $3 just to get to the NASDAQ. Now, just out of curiosity, what is the float on this? Do we have to worry about a reverse split? I don't know what the float is. Tough to find on some of your major chains. But 54 million is what they've got. And at 39 cents, they could do a 10 reverse split to get up there. But
and they would.
If the company shows that it's got growth going on, it could get there organically very easily. Latham hasn't done a reverse split, though I don't think they have any more room for shares on the table. They've got the most shares I've ever heard of in my life. But again, this is a bankruptcy coming out. They're at a very cheap price right now of 39 cents. And I expect that they are going to grow. Of course, you're going to have your dips in there, and you'll probably have some good spikes each time they come out with news confirming that they're on their way out, and that light gets brighter and brighter. So
I'll say it'll be a process, but this is definitely one to keep your eye on. Good catch there with that news, John. And thank you, LT, and everybody else for my birthday wishes. I'm going to go. It's time to get my glass of wine and get ready.
And when my birthday comes up, don't mention it. Me and you are pals.
You already had a birthday, and you didn't tell nobody.
Don't mention it.
You already had one.
I've had more than one, hon. I've had too many.
This doesn't work with headphones.
Thank you, folks, for showing up. It was nice seeing a lot of people who said they'd be here. Thanks for keeping your word.
Thank y'all, and Merry Christmas. We got to say our happy holidays and whatever. Just be with your family, you guys. Enjoy this weekend.
We won't see you till after Christmas, so ho, ho, ho. No.
Yeah.
And then we'll talk about that dividend we're going to get in just a couple of days the next time we talk.
Interesting.
I love belated gifts. We'll
Guys,
see you
thanks
next
so
week,
much
folks.
for joining.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
It is Christmas.